Hello everyone, this is Clash is Awesome, and this is no episode or anything. I want to talk about some things that are so crazy, and you won't believe it, but it's crazy. So I'm going to be talking about myself, but not everything, because if I talk about everything about my life, it just suck. I'm only going to talk about some things that I want to talk about that were so crazy about me. So at the age of 3 years old, I went to the hospital, doctor, whatever, and they found out I had autism, and I still wish I never was born with this condition because it just sucks, and you always have to go to special needs school, and I'm not, I'm not really smart. Well, I'm kind of smart, but not much. And sometimes I bend my hand back because I have a bunch of anxiety. I wish I never did that in the first place, but I did it anyway. I started to do it since I was like 12 years old, and I kept bending it over and over and over again because I had so much anxiety, I just couldn't stop doing it. And yeah. But yeah, that's what autistic children do sometimes. They like to bend their hands, or bite their fingers, or bite their nails, probably because they have a lot of anxiety. And it's crazy. But yeah, now let's talk about the worst things that has ever happened to me. Well, for starters, one time I was playing baseball, and I don't care about, I don't care what people say. This is just, I want to bring this up because you can already tell by the scar on my nose. Yeah, because everybody sees it in every video, so let's talk about this. When I was about 7 years old, I think I was 7, yeah, 7. I think it was around 2008. Where I was playing baseball with my friend, and he accidentally hit me in the head, and I had to go to the doctor. And I'm sorry if I have to say that, but I bet everybody's like, why does he have a scar on his head? That's because I got hit in the head with a baseball bat. It hurted so bad, I was bleeding everywhere. My mom had to rush me to the hospital. She asked somebody to take me, so yeah, they took me to the hospital. Yeah, it's actually kind of like drawing my life, where you talk about things that are so crazy. But yeah, it's true. I got hit in the face, and I was like, what's going on? What's going on? Am I okay? And then they found out my nose was fractured, so they had to put super glue to fix it up. And yeah, that's the worst thing that ever happened in my life. Getting a fractured nose, going to the hospital, and having to get it stitched up. It sucked. Another thing that happened is one time me and my brother were fighting, and I accidentally hit my head on the couch. The couch had like this metal thing on there, so I hit my head on the couch. I had a big bruise. I was bleeding everywhere, and I had to put like this ice pack on my head. It sucked. My God. And then another tragic story that happened is me and my brother were fighting over my shirt because he took my shirt. And then I fell off the bed. I hit my back on the doorknob. I had a big owie behind my back. I was like, oh, Michael, look what you made me do. I hit my back. And it was the most funniest shit that has ever happened to me. I was like, yep, that frickin' hurted so bad. Man. Now, what else can I talk about? Okay. So this one time I was in the pool. I was trying to jump in the pool, but then I hit my foot on the freaking concrete, and I had a big owie. I was like, oh, at first I was like, did I actually break my foot? Then I realized it was just a bunch of scabs. It hurted so bad I had to put a band-aid on it. It stung so bad. Another thing worse, one time I hit my knee on the, like, look at my knee for a sec. Yeah, I hit my knee on the pool, and I thought it was a bruise at first, and then it was like a big owie. And then I had another tragic story where I was riding my scooter, and then I fell on my knee, and I was crying so bad. I was like, Bob, I hit my knee on the concrete. Yeah, it was funny. And then my mom was like, what the hell's going on, or whatever. And it was the worst thing that ever happened. And then it became a scar, and it never got off my body. It was the worst thing that ever happened in my life. I fell off my scooter, boom. It sucked. And then another tragic story is I was trying to ride a bike, but then I ran into a tree and I hit my arm and it had a big owie. And oh my god, I have a lot of tragic stories. And I want to talk about this because, you know, a lot of people talk about this all the time. They talk about how they get hurt and crap, and it was crazy. But yeah, my life is kind of crazy when you hurt yourself. But I did have some good things in my life. I went to camp, Easter seals. I even went to church camp with my brother. He was in the Boy Scouts and I wanted to join, so I joined the Boy Scouts and crap like that. It's pretty cool. But I don't like church, which, okay, let's talk about this. Church was the most boring, it was the most stupidest thing you could ever sit through. And you know what I did? I acted out. I was just immature, saying you should like poop, or I did a lot of stupid shit back then. I always kept talking about poop. And the reason why I did that, because I just wanted to be funny. And I knew if I talk about that, I'll get grounded. I talked about poop a lot back then, but now I started to realize, yep, it's time to tone it down, Matthew. Because I used to have been a really bad kid. And I'm not joking. I used to annoy people, bully people. I used to do all this crap all the time. And I have to admit, I was a big bully back then. But then I changed my ways. Now I'm starting to realize I can't just be pushing people around. I can't be doing that. And I don't want to hear, well, screw you then. No. I know it was my fault. And I had a lot of issues like depression, mental illness. It sucked. But yeah, a lot going on. I even went on the Greyhound, flew a plane, a lot of shit. I even traveled a lot. I even went to Flagstaff, Arizona. And another thing I want to talk about is, well, I was born in Arizona, but then I went to Iowa for 8 years. Because, well, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to say I went to Iowa for 8 years. And it was alright. It was fun. I even went to Adventureland. But then I got depressed because I wanted to go back to my grandmother's house. Because she lived in Arizona and I was in Iowa. And I was just depressed. Because I was like, I don't want to go back to Iowa. But then I realized, yep, coming back here is a crazy mistake. And I even had a pet cat. But I'm sad that she's not with us. I mean, you're going to lose your pets. But luckily I got a couple dogs in my lives. Because without those dogs, I'll be sad. Because I lost a lot of pets in my life. And then the weirdest thing is, I named a dog Bear. How stupid is that? I named him Bear. I'm not kidding. I named the dog Bear. And worst of all, that dog bit me so badly. Like, oh my god. Especially with the cats. Oh my god. I got scratched by a cat so freaking bad. I was like, oh my god. Getting scratched by a cat is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. But, yeah, it sucked. And I got a lot of scars on my body. I even got burnt by a cigarette. And, oh my god, I want to talk about this. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. And now it's a scar now. I had this scar since 2010. One time me and my family were doing something. And they accidentally burnt the cigarette on my arm. And I was screaming like, oh my god, ah. And another thing I want to say is I had this condition where these stupid warts wouldn't go away. And they kept appearing over and over and over again. And the doctor finally found out it wasn't really warts, it was just a condition. So yeah, and they gave me medicine. And then worst of all, I always got motion sickness and pneumonia and all this. It sucked. And being in the hospital sucked because I was born with this condition. I still have it, but not badly as I was when I was a little kid. I got pneumonia when I was a little kid, and it sucked, and I had to go to the hospital 2 times. And I had to put a stupid IV in my arm, and it sucked really badly. And I couldn't do nothing, but I did watch TV and eat some food with my family, but that's all I can do. I just sat around for hours. I couldn't do shit. And I don't know if I still have it right now. I think it went away. And I also had to get these stupid pills, but you know what? It cured my illness and I don't have it anymore. But I do get a lot of heartburns and chest pains, which gets on my nerves. Sometimes when I'm laying down or something, or I don't know. And I was also born with this condition where, and I have a hard time walking still, but it's getting better. When I was a little kid, I had to wear these braces and it sucked. I still have an issue of walking. I have a lot of issues. I even hit my arm on a stupid gargoyle, and now I don't know. I think I sprained it or bruised it, and every time I get hurt, it never heals. It's like, it's freaking ridiculous. Like, you can't heal for a couple days or a couple weeks. No, my body sucks. I mean, it sucks to be in a human body. I wish I was an animal. But, yeah, I had a lot of stuff going on. It's crazy. Yeah. And I still have a lot going on right now, dealing with trolls and shit. It's crazy. But yeah, this is pretty much what happened in my life. I didn't explain every single thing, because that's even worse. And I don't want to explain about the dumbest shit that happened. I only explain about tragic stuff and good things about my life. But yeah, have a great day.